Churchill's visit to Glasgow for the mass meeting of the Scottish Unionist Conference was a splendid occasion. Huge crowds thronged the Ibrox Stadium, the weather favoured the cause, and he himself was in glorious fighting spirit with a special call to Scotland.
The whole process of nationalisation is, of course, specially detrimental and offensive to Scotland. It affects not only its prosperity, but the independence which Scotland has exercised in so many fields. No sharper challenge could be given to Scottish nationalist sentiment than is now launched by the socialism of Whitehall. My wife was telling me of the she comes from Scotland, you know. She was telling me of the strong feelings expressed at your conference here this morning. The growing practice of the socialist government is to take decisions vitally affecting Scotland in Whitehall. This is most marked where their nationalisation schemes have removed your own control over local services like transport. I spoke of the repeal of the Steel Bill, but this also is a process which we have every intention of setting in direct reverse.
Mr. Churchill went on to say that even in industries irrevocably nationalised, Conservatives would restore a greater measure of local control and responsibility.
In rail transport, a separate Scottish board, coordinated with but not subordinate to those in England. Again, there will be a separate Scottish board for electricity for the whole, and not just for the north of Scotland. They may do these things on their own. Now, I've happened to mention them, perhaps. Yeah. If so, we shall not have wasted our time at our conference today. And in these matters and other questions, the Secretary of State for Scotland will ensure that Scottish interests are specially served and regarded. On the shoulders of the Secretary of State for Scotland, a great and growing burden is placed. We recognize the post as one of high honor in the Cabinet, and we will not hesitate, if necessary, to strengthen the establishment of Scottish Under-Secretaries. The quickest and the surest way, and this is my very serious advice, it is a tip, if I may say so, straight from the horse's mouth. The quickest way for the people of Scotland to regain a proper control over their own affairs is to dismiss the socialists from public office. Will this island, upon whose shoulders the burden lies so heavily, continue to be hobbled, hampered, and half strangled by the attempt to impose upon its people the freezing and sterile fallacies of socialism? Or will our people take as their right and duty the simple steps open to them to free themselves at a stroke from the bonds by which they are now cramped and restricted, and to bring back by resolute constitutional action the freedom, the prosperity, and the enduring grandeur of the United Kingdom and of the British Empire and Commonwealth of nations in all parts of the world.
The Daily Mail, 2,500